I think Hurts is top five. I wouldn't put him one because I think you'd still have to leave that for Mahomes. I don't think I could put him two, only because like I said, I want to see now what does he do next year? Because it's good to win one, but now the pressure's there to do it again. So for me, I go Mahomes one. I mean, it might get controversial after this, but I still I have Burrow as two. I just like Burrow as a quarterback. I know the success this year wasn't there for various reasons, but I got Burrow too. I think three, because now I think is where the conversation starts. Because you have like Allen, Jackson, Hurts. I think those are the next three. And I think you could put them in any order you want as long as you make a valid argument for your order. I could care less, but I would probably go. I'm trying to think. I rank them like if I had to win a game tomorrow, who am I taking?
Well, what game? A regular season game or a playoff game?
I mean, for me, it's playoffs. I'm picking a regular season game. That could be whatever, but playoffs when like the intensity is there and all that. Who would I take out of those three? I might lean Hurts. I feel like even the Super Bowl loss against Kansas City, he played really well. Now this Super Bowl, he played really well. But I don't know if that might be putting him too high. No, okay, I'll go Allen, Hurts, Lamar.
So who's your one? Still Mahomes?
I got Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Lamar. But I do think the gap. I feel like for a lot of people, the gap between Mahomes and everybody else is so wide.
I don't think it is.
I feel like that gap may be shrinking a bit, but I think Mahomes is still clearly number one.
Yeah, I think that gap is getting. I mean, obviously, who all knows how long Kelce's going to be playing. I'm pretty sure since they lost, he's going to play another year. People are saying that if they won, he would have retired. Because I mean, he would never had nothing. He wouldn't have anything to prove. I mean, he was already Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl champion, or 2-time Super Bowl champion. So winning another one like submit his legacy. But I don't know. Like, can the Chiefs retain these players on defense? And I mean, I feel like they can because they did Mahomes' contract away. For the future, like gave him that contract at the time, but. I mean, who knows if the O-line's going to stay together and, as far as money-wise and if they can keep those players. And
I think the O-line needs upgrading. I don't think they need to stay together.
I think what's his name? Joe Thuney? I think he's probably the best one.
Yeah, he was also out of position too.
Right.
But what did like Philadelphia showed that line needs work. Even though a lot of the pressure came off of, I think, Kelce's side, and Kelce obviously, is getting up there. I feel like Kelce comes back, you're fine. You probably need to find another tight end to play off of him. Because as we've seen from the past couple of years, Kelce starts off really slow and then tries to turn it on late in the year. You're going to need a younger tight end to kind of fill in while Kelce's kind of getting into form. So, like, Kansas City's still going to be in the conversation, I believe. Obviously, certain moves in the offseason will dictate that for me, but, they're still the multi-time champs, and Mahomes has shown that he can win with lesser talent around him. So, I don't really have any doubts about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the question is, I mean, do we see Kelce coming back? I mean, I'm pretty sure he does. Cause I know like when losing that Super Bowl was tough for him, and but like you're right, like, but I don't think like you said earlier, I don't think like that the window between the Mahomes and other quarterbacks is not that far off because like if you think about it, yeah, the game that they're like 15-1, I think 15-2.
Yeah, 15-2 they were.
So they didn't really. I mean, they played the good football, but the score wise, the differential in points, like they didn't blow anyone out. Like so, it's not like, but
that's not a big deal to me.
I mean, but like it's like okay, if the Broncos would have made that field goal, they would have won that game. If it wasn't for our blocked field goal attempt or a blocked field goal attempt, which they got. I mean, the only tough team they played was I would say the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they ran through the AFC West. I mean, the Broncos. I mean, I know they got Bo Nix. I know they got. I mean, Raiders are still up and coming team. They just fired their head coach Antonio Pierce, but now they brought in Pete Carroll. So that's going to be interesting to see in the AFC West. So you got Sean Payton still with the Broncos. Now you got Pete Carroll in the West, and then you should have Andy Reid, but for KC. But I think that as far as window, I mean Mahomes is a great quarterback. Man, I'm not knocking anything off of him, but like that window, like I mean Lamar, he had his best season, I think I would say stat wise. So he's extending. All he needs is more playoff wins. You got Allen got MVP.
That's a big thing that he needs, though. It's not easy to win.
It's not like he's a trash. It's not like he's a trash quarterback. I mean, he had one of his 4,000 passing yards, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, but nobody cares without the playoff success. That's the problem. Once you reach a certain level, like Mahomes, nobody cares about Mahomes' regular season. It's about postseason. Allen's the same way. Nobody cares about his regular season anymore. They need him to do it in the playoffs. Lamar's in that situation. I think Burrow's there. Hurts is there. Now, after that, then you can start talking about like guys' regular season. But those 5 at least, regular season numbers aren't going to mean anything without playoff wins.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess I would agree with that. But I mean, you can say the thing about Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like Allen in the playoffs, like yeah, he had a winning record better than Lamar, but like he can't get past the Chiefs. He can't.
Wildly better though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the same question. Like, what do you think, Rosie? I was saying my dog might hurt pill. But like. The same question that came to ask about Lamar in the playoffs is like, okay, I mean, we crapped the bet against the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship, but like, what can you say about Allen? Like, how come he can't get to the big game, Super Bowl? Like, he can't get past Mahomes. Like,
there's differences though. If you look at Allen's performances against Kansas City, he has outperformed Patrick Mahomes in those games. That's different. When you look at Lamar versus the Chiefs, Lamar didn't outperform Patrick Mahomes. That's where the difference is.
I mean, now,
is there pressure on both of them? Yes, there's pressure on Burrow, Allen, Lamar. Those 3 have the most pressure on them right now to get a ring. We understand that. But then when you start ranking the 3 on the pressure, Lamar has the most pressure out of the 3. Because of the MVPs thrown in there. And the fact that when you look at Burrow at Cincinnati, the defense has been on the decline for years, and this year was terrible.
Yeah.
When you look at Josh Allen, he lost his number 1 wide receiver. Their defense had some issues with injuries. When you look at Lamar, you could say probably for the past 3 years or so, they've had really good defenses, and then you throw in the addition of a really good running back this year. People are going to wonder, what does he need to finally break through? I don't know what that is. Well, I mean, I know what it is, but
So what do you think? So you say so what is it?
He still has development in the passing game. I'm going to continue to say it. Has he made improvements? Yes. But there's There's still a
are
really
you talking
big
about
flaw.
playoff stats or regular season?
I'm just talking about eye test. The
I
biggest
mean,
problem is when you play against Lamar, he likes to work over the middle of the field. I still think if he added the outside the number game, I guarantee you he'd probably win a lot more in the postseason. And that is not only on him. Harbaugh, too, has to take some of this because the game plans when they come up in the playoffs have been trash when they lose. Because this year, once again, they neglected Derrick Henry after Derrick Henry was breaking through, and look how the game turned out.
Well, like I understand, like with the whole in that two people who like on Twitter I've seen like after like the Ravens Bills game, like the playoff game, like I feel like people don't. Yeah, Lamar had that bad. Okay, let's break it down. Like the game, Lamar had that one bad throw. I don't know where he threw it to the first interception.
He had a bad half. You can't say one bad throw. He had a terrible half.
No, that one throw where he had that intercept or that pick. I don't know where.
How about the fumble?
I'm getting to that. I was saying like, okay, the fumble. Okay, so that was a high snap, but I mean, he didn't know he could have thrown out of bounds, but like if you're in that situation, poor snap, icy field, what are you gonna do with somebody on your tail? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I'm not gonna try to switch hands when I'm going down. That's how he fumbled it. He was switching hands and it slipped out of his hand.
And then, okay, the one where he threw it to Andrews, he fumbled. That was a clean punch out. You can't be doing any of that at the 50-yard line. I don't know what Andrew was doing. He kind of did a turn, a create space, and then he just punched it out. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Then he almost fumbled again when I was like, yo, Andrews, get out of bounds, man. Like, but he didn't fumble it. And then he drove down 88 yards to almost get a 2-point conversion. Like, if you don't give him credit, like obviously, yeah, a loss is a loss in the books, but like he just drove us down the field to give us the opportunity to tie that game. But without including the mistakes, but hey, it happened. It happened. I mean, Allen had a cleaner game, no picks or anything. He did have that questionable one where he was at the goal line and he almost fumbled it, but he kind of tossed it, but he didn't. He kept it, but but it is what it is. But the same thing happened in the Chiefs game, like with Dalton Kincaid, he dropped the game-winning catch, but Andrews, Andrews doesn't make those mistakes like that, and it's not right for him to get those death threats that he has been receiving. People have been going too crazy about that, like threatening his family and everything and himself. But I'll give it to the Bills. Like that one play, that was a clean play, clean punch out, clean fumble, knocked it right out of his hands. You can't really challenge that call because obviously the ball came out before the knee went down. I mean, that's fair. It was a good throw by Lamar, good catch by Andrews, but again, he was just, I don't know. So, I think Kyle Hamilton came out and said like we have all the pieces. I mean, we just got to play the right way, play your football that we know. I mean, what do we need as far as the weapons? Like our defenses. I mean, our secondaries. It's like it can be fixed a little bit because we had our problems with the DBs.
Outside of Hamilton, the secondary stinks.
I mean, we got Wiggins, we got Marlon.
Wiggins is young. I'll give Wiggins that. He's young. I think Humphrey is overrated. Who else is back? Like Stevens and guys like that? No. If I'm an opposing team, the only guy I worry about is Hamilton because that guy is all over the field. He makes the right plays. Humphrey will make a play or two for you here and there, but he gets burnt a lot, especially in certain matchups. I would attack him all the time.
Darius Washington, he stepped up too. Darius Washington.
The secondary is still weak to me. I think the linebacking group isn't necessarily the strongest either.
And then we just hired Chuck Pagano as a DB coach, so we'll see what we do with that. I know
I could bring in Gordon Ramsay to cook for me if the ingredients are spoiled. Like, what's he supposed to do with that?
Well, I'm saying Chuck Pagano is, he's on the Ravens staff a long time ago, and obviously he's a trusted member of John Harbaugh's trade back in the day. So I like to pick up. He's spoken highly of our DBs, but we'll see how him and Harbaugh.
He gotta say that in public. Once he
Huh?
closes the door, he has to say that in public. When he closes the door to his office, he's probably like, I need somebody else. Like I said, Wiggins is young. I would give him the opportunity to, get better. But the rest of them, they got to upgrade. D-line too. Your boy Matabike, where did he go this year?
I thought he had a. Y'all missed Denari Wilson, don't you? I thought he had a good year. I wasn't really paying attention to him.
Matabike was a ghost for most of the season. After what he did last year, he got the new contract. He took a step back this year. Like that can't happen.
So you said, what do you? So like you said, you know what we need. Like, what do we need?
Well, first off,
like from a team that you're not a Raven, like you're on the outside looking in. Like, how do you?
You need Harbaugh and Monken to have some sense. You're bringing in a guy like Derrick Henry, who I guess you have to re-sign or whatever. Utilize him. Like, why is he running? We saw in the regular season he was running some games like 11 times, 12 times, 15. That's not who Derrick Henry is. Derrick Henry, 20 carries at least. You let him beat up on the opposing team's defensive line, and you're better for it. Stop having these playoff games where you're trying to prove some point with Lamar Jackson. Like, we get it. But utilize the players that you have. I think another thing you need, I don't necessarily love the wide receiver group. Like, I like Zay Flowers. Yes. I think Jory's perfectly, like, you need somebody who gets after the quarterback. Like I said, Matabike was supposed to be that off of last year.
I like Van Noy.
Yeah, Van Noy's like,
but he's like, I know, I understand, but he had a good year, I would say.
Look, if Van Noy is a standout at this point.
No, I'm not saying yeah.
No, I agree with you. Van Noy had a good year, but that also
you forgot
speaks
about
to
him.
the problem in the linebacking group. Like, you need other guys. Like, Van Noy at this point should be a guy who, is playing like sporadically. He makes his plays or whatever. Like, Baltimore's defense right now, like, you're leaning on Van Noy to be something that he probably can't sustain, for many more years. And I feel like most of the problems I have with Baltimore this year were defensively. Edge rush, linebackers and pass coverage was a weakness, and then the back end and the secondary outside of Kyle Hamilton was a weakness. There's a reason why it took Pittsburgh basically collapsing at the end of the year for Baltimore to win the division. Baltimore was on pace to maybe miss the playoffs until they hit a little run late in the year. I don't know if you can bank on that happening next year.
I wouldn't say a little run. We smoked the Texans on Christmas, and then we just sailed through after our bye week. The Texans.
How'd their season go?
Hey, it is what it is, man. Injuries happen, right? I think Dell got hurt and Stephon Diggs got hurt. It sucks.
The Texans were up and down all year before injuries hit them.
But I'm saying, like, after our bye week, we didn't look back. So I don't think it was a little run. I think we had a big run. We beat the Steelers again, or we tied I know they beat us in Pittsburgh, and then we beat them. Beat the Bengals again.
So what was the Ravens' record going into the bye?
I gotta count the record.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Because I'm pretty sure they were, I don't say a 500 team, but they were definitely underperforming based off of the projections.
41-38, Bengals, 30-23, 41-31, 24. We had a lot of games before the bye. 30-23. The one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So I think we were 8-4 because we lost to the Chiefs. Kyle, you frozen? His power cut out. My bad, y'all. Kyle just lost his power for a little bit. He's gonna come back on a little bit, but yeah, I think we were 8-4 because we I think we lost to the Chiefs. Then the Raiders that's 2 losses. Lost to the Browns and Steelers. So yeah, we were 8-4 before the bye. Let me see. Yes, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I think we might have been 8-5 because we lost to the Chiefs, Raiders, Browns in the first game, Steelers, and then we beat the Cowboys, Bills, Broncos, Commanders. I think it's 8-5 before the bye, but there we go. We go. We back.
Yeah, had some crazy weather here. So power literally just went out and came back on. So yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Oh yeah, because we're talking about the Ravens going into the break.
Yeah, I think we're 8
going into the break. Like they had the
Chiefs lost, the Raiders. Yeah, so we had the Chiefs lost, Raiders lost, we lost to the Browns the first time. I think then we beat the Cowboys, Bills, Broncos, Commanders, Buccaneers. So
yeah, but it was just like when you're watching them before they got into their bye week, like something always seemed a little off at times with them, which is why that weird stat about Derrick Henry less than 20 carries, they were losing games, over 20, they were winning games. So I feel like it was always going to be kind of that struggle because you can tell that Monken and Harbaugh, they seem like they want to like open everything up for Lamar. But the problem is when you have Derrick Henry, you got to give him his carries for him to be the most effective. Derrick Henry's not a guy that's useful if you're going to give him 10 to 15 carries. You got to use him 20, 25 times a game because that's when he wears down defenses. And once he wears defenses down, that's when you get those big game-breaking runs because Derrick Henry, I mean, he's kind of beating the odds at his age, but he has shown that he gets stronger as the game goes along. So that's why kind of like when Baltimore went and got him, I was curious to see how that would work. And it worked for the most part, except for against Buffalo. Because Buffalo, once again, he didn't get the 20 carries. And we saw how that game went.
Yeah. So so good talk for the playoffs, regular season. So what do you think about the new like coaching hirings and firings? Like any team that you see that, you know, is a poor team but got a better coach, like for instance, Bears got Ben Johnson from the Lions. The Jets got who was that coach that was on the Lions?
You got Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. So what out of the I think Raiders got Kellen Moore. It's official from the Eagles.
Saints got Kellen Moore.
Oh yeah, Saints got Kellen from the Eagles. So Eagles, yeah, he was on the Eagles. Yeah, so what coaching hirings are surprising? Oh, I was Vrabel to the Patriots. So what team do you think has the upper advantage as far as, you know, where they can go? So how many were there? There was the Jets, Bears,
I believe it was
Raiders.
7.
Oh, Pete Carroll.
Yeah, so it's Jets, Raiders, Patriots, Jaguars, Saints.
Oh, Jags. They hired who they hired? Duval.
Yeah, that. I mean, I feel like, look, when we look back on these coach hirings, a lot of teams went the coordinator route, which that's kind of a crapshoot in itself because the responsibilities when you're an offensive coordinator or a defense coordinator like Aaron Glenn versus being a head coach are so different that we don't know if all these guys can handle that. I will say I would probably expect Ben Johnson to do well with Chicago. I think Aaron Glenn with New York is going to be challenging, but I think if they give Aaron Glenn like support and the time, I think that could turn into a decent hire. Now, the Liam Cohens, even like Kellen Moore, don't know because the Saints' job is going to be tough no matter who they brought in with their cap situation, with their quarterback situation where it seems like Carr is on his way out. You got to see what they do there because we all know in this league, quarterbacks are what matter. And even some of their defensive guys are kind of getting a little older. So, you know, what can he do down there to transform that pretty quickly? Because if you are a Saints fan, the one thing you have working for you is that division historically is one of like topsy-turvy results year in and year out.
Right.
Because all the teams are kind of, you know, 9-10 wins that division type of thing. You never really get a team that wins with like 13 wins. So there's the opportunity, but they got to fix their cap situation. I don't know about Cohen in Jacksonville, only because I just think the Jacksonville job is meh. Like the ownership isn't great. I'm not the biggest Trevor Lawrence guy, but you know, he's still young, so he's gonna get another shot, seemingly. I keep hearing this random thing about like the Steelers trying to get Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if that's like real or not, but it seems like people are talking about that a lot more now.
I heard more about Aaron Rodgers going to Steelers, but more than Lawrence.
If you want to, I wouldn't do it with Aaron Rodgers. I think I just don't think that guy is a winning quarterback anymore. I don't think he wins you a Super Bowl at this point.
So you think he should retire, hang it up?
I thought that like 2 years ago, but yeah, he definitely should retire now. He's going to get an opportunity. I know that, but I just think at best he maybe gets you a wild card spot. I wouldn't trust him in the playoffs though. And yes, Vrabel to the Patriots was a great hire. I'm excited for that. And I think, like you said earlier, Pete Carroll to the Raiders, I'm intrigued by it. Because Pete Carroll's like pushing 80, but he still has the energy. I think in Pete Carroll's mind, he's like 40 years old.
Yeah, he still has good. He still has a great coach of mine for sure.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a step. I think that as far as experience wise, I think Raiders have the upper advantage as far as coaching tier because obviously, Peter Carroll has been to the big game with Russell Wilson and Seahawks like back in the day, so he has that experience. Other than that mishap with not running it with Marshawn Lynch and in the goal line instead of just throwing the ball at the goal line, but I mean, I think that division is going to get interesting now because now you have Sean Payton, some historic coaches in that division. I mean, obviously, Andy Reid's up there, number one as far as with the Kansas City, and then now you have Sean Payton. Now, then Jim Harbaugh, but I forgot about the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, and then Pete Carroll, and then Sean Payton. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they how that division pans out. I mean, I think the Chiefs still win that division, but I think that adding Pete Carroll to the team and seeing what they're going to do, plus with the draft and free agency and stuff like that, and all that, I think Raiders are in the best position as far as coaching wise. But like you said, I don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Same questions for like you said for the Saints. Like I don't know who's going to be.
Well, are you saying that the Raiders are in the best position in terms of like the new coaching hires?
Yeah, and then as far as getting, I would say.
I wouldn't say that,
but I mean, do you trust Kellen Moore to run an offense?
I trust Vrabel over Pete Carroll, but I think Pete Carroll was a good hire. Yes,
Vrabel. Oh yeah. Well, never mind. I was gonna say,
but I mean, the big difference is Vrabel has a quarterback in Drake May. Pete Carroll doesn't have one. Like as great of an offensive mind that he has, he's not going to make Aiden O'Connell what Aiden O'Connell can't be, which is a starting quarterback. They got to get him somebody, whether it's through the draft, maybe reunion with Russell Wilson. I don't know if Pete Carroll necessarily wants that, but Russell Wilson's going to be out there and available. Mm-hmm. Does he want to take a shot with Aaron Rodgers for a year? I don't know.
Jory said, "Oh, that's another good player. Max Crosby might want out."
Based on that press conference, Max Crosby looks like he's going to want out. He wasn't interested in listening to Pete Carroll.
I didn't even see the press conference that he had.
He was standing at the back, on the wall, just like moving his head around and just like looking like, yeah, I don't believe this is gonna be it for me.
So Rod, what's up? What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Rod?
But I mean, yeah, that's another good weapon that they can't afford to lose because that's one of their top pass rushers. But I mean that now you see Myles Garrett testing the market. Now Max Crosby might be testing the market as far as edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, I mean, obviously Myles Garrett should earn top dollar at that position, but do you think Max Crosby earns that right too?
Yeah. I mean, Max Crosby's been productive. And when you look at the NFL, quarterbacks will get paid, pass rushers will get paid. So, yeah, they're going to make their money. I think the choice that some teams might make, especially in trading for like a Myles Garrett or Crosby, how much are you willing to give up? Because like if you're Cleveland and you have Myles Garrett, you're going to probably want obviously a first round pick or something this year, along with additional picks. Are you willing to kind of do that for a guy like Myles Garrett or Crosby? I mean, for those two names alone, they'll probably get somebody to bite on it and make the deal. But Yeah, I just think that those are just too well, especially Cleveland. The Cleveland situation, it's a mess right now, unfortunately. I guess for Browns fans, but yeah, I just feel like Garrett's just frustrated at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he looked like he was out of it last year. The same situation happened. Watson like went down. I mean, dude just can't stay healthy. But I think what they have the top two, the top two pick in the draft, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, so with Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, I think it's the top four.
Got you. Sure. Is there any more NFL news we didn't cover? Any more questions that you
I
have?
mean, there's a certain guy from your squad that keeps making news.
Oh, Tucker.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't think there were what. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm speechless, bro. I don't know,
Look, it's
man.
just,
So wait.
just
So is
just
it?
digging a
So
deeper hole.
it was 6 originally, right? Or 7? 6 originally.
Whatever the number is, it went up more this weekend.
I mean, I don't. What do we do? Or like kick him? Like what do the Ravens do? Kick him off the team? I don't know.
I mean, you, the Ravens fan, like, do you want him wearing Ravens jerseys, a Ravens jersey next year?
I mean, why? Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not saying what he did is wrong or right or wrong or right. Oh, wait, I'm not saying what he did is right. I mean, so I'm not defending him, but I mean, I think that he's probably one of our best. Yeah, he did have a weird year as far as missing field goals, but he's still one of our best, kickers. You know what I'm saying? So like, but then again, he's getting up there with age as well. So I don't know if Ravens draft a young kicker in the late rounds of the draft or whatever, or find someone else. But I mean, who is there else to get? I mean, there's no really else unless you draft somebody. But I mean, I know we have Stout as our punter, but I mean, what other option do we have other than Tucker himself? I mean, I feel like every kicker is taken right now, or unless you get someone in free agency, but.
I think it's very simple. You can find kickers,
But
plenty
not
of kickers. There's plenty
kickers
of
that
kickers
don't
that are
have
free
that.
agents. Plenty of kickers that come out in the draft.
Well, yeah,
can
draft.
find
Yeah,
them.
I mean, draft. Yeah, obviously that's the most easiest option. But I mean, who has that leg power like Tucker?
You can find kickers with a leg. Look. The more you learn about the story, it's like, do you necessarily need the headache that will potentially come if opening the first home game, Tucker runs out there? I'd say no. Like, I wouldn't need it. And like I said, not Tucker, but kicker is a position that you can find, like I said, you can find plenty of people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe your kicker won't kick a 67-yarder or something like that. Okay. Kickers today can kick 50, 55. Like, it'll be all right.
Oh, comments. Hey, Jory said they can't ignore it anymore. I mean now there's more cases. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, well, I guess we'll see what they do, because Baltimore hasn't put out any statement or anything yet, and as far as I know, he's still a member of Baltimore. I mean, was he a free agent or not?
No, he wasn't free. He's still on the team.
So he's still on the team as of today.
So when did these new allegations come out? Like today or like yesterday?
It was either today or yesterday. It was, like I said, it was this weekend, I believe.
Yeah, that's really I don't see anything. I'm on Bleacher Report. Nothing about Tucker. I mean, I know the news came out. I just don't see anything on their page or anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, they are out there, and the questions now gonna have to be asked. Like, is this it? Are there more? Are there a lot more? Like, is this something that he? I don't know. It's for me. I would say it's like a little too much. And look, if Baltimore wants to do maybe the bare minimum, maybe you get him onto like the commissioner exempt list, which is basically set aside for guys who are going through allegations and incidents like this. You get them away, let whatever happens, and then you deal with it after the fact.
So commissioner list can't play, right?
No, because that's like when Jabril Peppers had his allegations against him. Like the Patriots put him on the commissioner exempt list right away. Then he went out, process happened and everything. He was found not guilty. He came off the list and then he was back on the field. I feel like that's the first thing. That's like the bare minimum Baltimore probably should have done, or at least do. Like they don't have to do it now, obviously, because there's no games or anything, but they do by them staying quiet though. Kind of alarming, or it's a little odd.
Maybe they're staying quiet because they're still investigating or finding out what, like it's still is it still an ongoing investigation? I mean, obviously the reports are out. Yeah, aren't they doing like internal?
I guess, but it's like they could at least make a statement about it. Like most teams will at least give you when it first happens, like condemn the actions or something like that, or we understand what happened. We're looking into it internally, something like that. Like Baltimore hasn't said a thing about it. Like I said, as far as I know.
Trying to look to see if they said like 7 more. I mean, nothing really. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, there was more. I think it was like 7 more or something like that.
I was like 7.
Yeah.
I guess we can go to switch to the NBA. I mean, what are your thoughts on this season overall? And what are you looking forward to for after the All-Star break?
I want to see if Cleveland can hold their lead in the East over the Celtics. Tatum and everybody there said, they basically said it without saying it, that they're going to like flip the switch now. And they've started to do that a little bit going into the break. I want to kind of see who emerges as the third best team in the East, whether it's the Knicks, the Bucks. I think the Pacers are up there record-wise, but I don't necessarily think too much of them this year. Detroit. Can Detroit make the playoffs? They're the 6th seed right now. I would love to see that. I think Cade Cunningham is having a great season. It's a great story for Detroit. The West, you got the Thunder, who clearly look like the best team in the West. So I think the question is going to be who's the second best team, because obviously the Lakers have a lot of attention right now with the Luka move. But it almost seems like under the radar, though, the Grizzlies and the Nuggets are higher in the standings than the Lakers are right now. And the Nuggets started off really slow. I think it was easy for people to kind of forget about them, but they've been playing a lot better now. Jokic is averaging like 30 a game. Murray's averaging 21 a game, which seems right for their team. Porter Jr. is still their X factor. And the Grizzlies, I think if the Grizzlies are healthy, I think they can be an interesting team out west. Like their biggest issue's been like they'll get to the playoffs and it's either Morant's hurt or they're missing a bunch of big guys. So I feel like it's going to be interesting to see if the Grizzlies can be healthy going into the playoffs. I guess Golden State now with this Butler move, and it seems like Steph is more energized with the Butler move. I don't know how much better it actually makes them, but if they could sneak into a top 6 seed, I think that would be good for them. And I guess we'll also find out did Kevin Durant make the right move? The Warriors wanted to get him. He didn't want to go. So he's stuck in Phoenix, and they're the 11th seed right now. They're not even a play-in team. So did he make the right decision, or was it just him being motivated not to be, I guess, teammates with Draymond Green again? I mean, that's basically why he left the first time, was Draymond.
Well, speaking of Draymond, he just said last night, I think at All-Star pool season, he said, I think someone because that means like the next topic of of the NBA talk was. Oh, let me switch the 1 second. Let me switch the basketball court. So like I used to be a vivid and I still am a basketball fan. I like the NBA. I like that's why when I'm on sport, then I would say baseball would be second, or maybe baseball and football would be second, and then third would probably be hockey. But for some reason, these past couple of years, I just can't. Maybe because I work a lot, but I just don't watch NBA like I used to. I don't. Maybe there's a reason why. I mean, I don't know. Like, because Draymond, they asked Draymond at the All-Star game, press conference, do you think the NBA is boring? And he was like, absolutely. And his answer, quote unquote, every possession is some type of chess move. Green said, you don't get that today in the NBA often. You don't just get that on a regular basis. It's just who can run faster, who can hit more threes, which is ironically, he has one of the best shooters in the league. So coming from him saying that, so I'm not done with just who can run the faster, who can hit more threes. It's no substance. I think it's very boring. Did he say anything else? Yeah, so. Then you have other players voicing about their thoughts about the NBA, but coming from him, I don't think. Obviously, with the Splash Brother era with Clay and Steph, the Warriors are the reason why the 3-point game is the way it is, and now you say it's boring. So what do you think of Draymond's quote
he's a guy with a skill set that is being phased out. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not to say Draymond isn't effective. He can still.
No, yeah, he's
facilitate. He's a rebounder.
He's like a modern day Rodman. You know what I'm saying? He can defend well. Can't really score the ball like that. He wants to. But it's like the NFL, man. The NFL switching to back in the days to be the Peyton Mannings, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the big body, Phillip Rivers, pocket passers. Now we're more Lamar and Jalen Hurts, the mobile quarterback. So back in the day, it used to be just the traditional big man. Now players are asked to do more than just play big. It's traditionally to you could be a hybrid big or a stretch big to shoot the ball, where a big man was criticized for shooting the big or for shooting the three back in the day. You would never see Shaquille O'Neal shoot a 3-pointer. He was more in the paint. Now, if he was in today's game,
you'd never see Shaq shoot it because Shaq couldn't shoot.
Oh no, I'm saying
Shaq knew who he was. That's.
I'm saying
I was just saying
you never see Rodman
Shaq would never have added that to his game because he wouldn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond's issue is as an undersized big, because he would literally be a less athletic Charles Barkley, because Charles Barkley was undersized, but Barkley had crazy athleticism. Draymond is not that athletic freak. Draymond's biggest skill is physicality. And he understands that as the game becomes more perimeter oriented, you lose some of that physicality. And because of that, he is speaking out against that. I understand it for him because it's like self-preservation. But I do think the talk about too many threes and all this, a lot of times it becomes
he's
kind of
like
like low-hanging fruit for everybody when they're like, oh, what's wrong with the game? It's too many threes. That's not the problem. The problem is everybody trying to build their team like Golden State when they don't have the horses like Golden State had. I live in Atlanta. The Hawks have been trying to become the Golden State Warriors for like 5 years now. They can't do it, but they keep trying to do it, which is why they haven't won anything. What a shock. Like, some of these teams need to learn how to think on their own, build their own way, and build to their talent. Because, like I said, you have the Hawks with, like Jalen Johnson, even though he's hurt. You got Trae Young and, other pieces that are like Capella and Okongwu, but they're still trying to run their system strictly through Trae Young. Now, they were kind of shifting a little bit more with Jalen Johnson's emergence, but like I said, he got hurt. Right. But when you have an undersized guard like Trae Young, and Trae Young was billed as a Steph Curry-like player coming out of Oklahoma, he's not that. Can he shoot the three? Yes. But he cannot shoot it at the way that Steph Curry can. So Trae Young will take like 2 or 3 logo threes a game. He might make one, but he'll like brick the other ones. And it seems like that's okay to the Hawks. It's not. You got to change it. We have teams like Washington. Watch Washington play. They barely run an offense that's worth noting. And they're fielding a team every night. Yeah, that'd be boring to watch for me too. But overall, like, I like watching the Thunder. Why? Because they have a really good player and a good system around that player in SGA. Like watching the Celtics. Why? Because they built a system around Tatum and Brown with guys like White and Holiday who know their role and knock down open shots. I can watch Cleveland play until Cleveland kind of bogs down and turns into, let's watch Donovan Mitchell try to bail us out. That's when they get boring, but when they play normally, they're an exciting team to watch. I can watch, like, the top teams in the league are exciting to watch. Some of these bottom-dwelling teams, and they're bottom-dwelling teams for a reason, are trying to be what they can't be. I mean, like Kerm in the comments, like, if you try to watch Washington play, in Washington's mind, they think Jordan Poole is better than he actually is. And it's like, when you're a teammate on the Wizards team, it's like, from the minute you step on the court, you aren't serious about winning. So what are other guys going to start doing? They're going to start falling into terrible habits. And that's the problem that's around the league. Whether it's Wizards or the Hornets, some of these teams are like perpetually young and upcoming, and they never get out of that. That's why I said, with Detroit finally kind of breaking through, they got a coach who seemingly knows how to use the talent that's there. I'm excited to see what Detroit could do in a playoff series. Would I expect them to win? No. But I think them getting there is a big step for that city and that organization. Because for like the last 5 years, people would be like, look out for Detroit. And then Detroit has a terrible season. And then go into the next year, look out for Detroit. Terrible season. Now there's actually a reason to be optimistic. Yeah, Kerm, the Rockets too. I like what the Rockets have going on, even though they don't necessarily get talked about a lot because they're another young team with some veterans sprinkled in. But that's a team that has their style of play and they play it to their talent. That's the problem. Teams have to look in the mirror and realize who they actually are.
So I guess my comment about Draymond's comment about the league and like the three, like, is it a shot? I mean, obviously, like, Curry and Draymond had that reputation of being close because they won championships together. But is that taking a shot at Curry? Because I mean, no one. I mean, yeah, people were taking deep threes, but no one was taking deep threes like Curry. So like, Curry kind of, not in a way, ruined the league with threes, but like, shaped it into what now. I mean, I was watching the Bucks game like a couple months ago.
Mhm.
They were playing. I forget who they were playing. Like they were just teams were jacking up threes and missing. I just not the. And I think that another thing that is kind of making me not want to watch the NBA like as much as I do is just like back in the day, like there used to be like, I mean, obviously there's rivalries like the Lakers and Celtics is like back in the day and everything, to the Bulls, Pistons, or whatever. But like, there aren't really any real like beefs or like rivalries. You know what I'm saying? As far as like not and that
There are.
and that leads to the All-Star game. Like the All-Star game is just weak. I mean, obviously I'm gonna watch it tonight, a little bit of it, but
Who do you blame for that though?
who do you put the blame on the All-Star game? The players?
All-Star games usually reflect the biggest stars of that era. The way this All-Star game is turned, LeBron, Durant, those guys you look at. I said it.
No, like the format wise. I'm not like the format. It's like
why do you think they keep changing the format? And these players complain about it, yet they don't play hard no matter what the format is. But then they cry when Silver changes the format. Silver's at least trying to do something. Like LeBron's a legacy all-star. He gets it no matter what. He could have affected this years ago. Did he? No. Because LeBron will get out there, he'll be cool and everything like that. Everybody's going to be like, oh, wow, look at LeBron. He's 40 years old in the All-Star game. Okay, great. The All-Star game is also disintegrated into what it's been because of LeBron. Hey, the dunk contest stinks. Oh, yeah, LeBron never did it. What a shocker.
I mean, in my opinion, why would he have to do it? We all know he can dunk. He can dunk.
Jordan did it. Dominique did it. Kobe did it. All the great players did it, but somehow LeBron was above it.
John Morant's is not doing it. And he's a dunker.
Morant is still young.
LeBron, I understand that.
20-something years, never did it.
I mean, I feel like.
And then he came out that one year and said, I'll be in it next year. And in perfect LeBron fashion, didn't do it.
So you think LeBron messed dunking up? I mean, I feel like he doesn't have to prove it. He's the best dunker in the league. I mean, he's been the best dunker.
He is not. You were about to say he's the best dunker in the league. He's not even close.
I mean, like as far as like longevity, he's the best dunker.
He's not the best dunker, no matter how you're trying to phrase it. He's not. What's his best dunk?
There's plenty of them.
It's only one dunk he does. It's not a hard thinking process.
Can you do it? Hell no.
He does the most simple dunk. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about. I'm saying like why? Because if LeBron was in the dunk contest, he would win it.
He'd only win it off of name. I guarantee he wouldn't out dunk the other contenders.
Maybe he might do it the year he retires, whatever that is. Maybe he might.
He hadn't done it before. He's not going to do it now.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's the problem. You want to talk about somebody who's image conscious? It's LeBron.
I mean, how come? Where's Curry been? The last few 3-point.
Curry's done the 3-point contest multiple times.
He was in there last year, right? Or like
he's done it multiple times. He even did the Sabrina thing when a lot of other players wouldn't have exposed themselves to losing potentially to Sabrina Ionescu. Curry did it with no problem.
Yeah, Matt McClung, man, he's that guy, man.
And you think LeBron could have outdunked Mac McClung doing the same dunk that LeBron does all the time?
No, I mean, he knows what LeBron would have done. I mean, and dunk contest. I don't know.
Once again,
you're supposed to be creative.
Do you think LeBron could handle losing to Mac McClung? No.
No, he couldn't.
That's the problem. He's worried about his image if he were to lose to somebody. You think LeBron could have hung with Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine? No. They dunk circles around him.
I mean, I think that's when the contest took its turn because Aaron should have.
Yeah, who ruined that? Dwayne Wade, LeBron's buddy.
Oh my god!
Dwayne Wade tried to conspire
Yeah.
with the judging. Everywhere you turn, LeBron has a hand in it. Look at the skills competition last night. Chris Paul got disqualified. Another LeBron guy.
Well, I mean,
They're ruining it every year.
I don't know what that was last night. When people they were just, I don't know
Chris
what they're
Paul
doing.
thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. That's what it was. That's all it was. And it's the dumbest thing. Like, it's a skills competition. Why in his right mind would he think Adam Silver would want to see a guy go up there and do what he did through that competition? Like, that was so stupid for him to even try. And then to be surprised that he got disqualified for it.
And then Draymond just sold the Warriors team. Like,
I mean, Draymond at least did the competition.
yeah.
Like, that's all you got to do. But once again, Chris Paul big brained it and looked like an idiot in the end. So, but yeah, the fact that LeBron never did the dunk contest, that's the problem. Guys, like I said, name another great who was a dunker that didn't do it.
I gotta Google that.
There's none. Dr. J did it. Vince Carter, Kobe, MJ, Dominique. Like, just keep going down the line. They all did it. I mean, Spud Webb did it multiple times. But LeBron, no. MJ even did the three-point contest too. And he wasn't even a shooter, according to, LeBron fans. Did LeBron do the three-point contest? Oh, that's right. He couldn't do that one either. LeBron's biggest skill is he makes the right play. Could he do the skills competition? Nope. Chose not to do that one either.
I mean, no, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, I would like to see back in the day, I would like to see LeBron. Back in the day, I would like to have seen LeBron do at least one or two contests, like when he was like,
never gonna do it. I knew it.
But it's like, so I do get your point there. Like, Jordan did it. Didn't Spud Webb do it?
Yeah, Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson.
Yeah, all the Terrence Ross did it. But I think that, I don't know, like, where I just missed it could get boring, like the whole position like I was talking to my coworkers like at work about NBA, but the NBA, and like how college and high school there's more, and plus AAU, and as you're growing up there, you actually run plays like 2-3 defense. Hey, you win this, you here, the big man. If you're 2-3, you have your two best, backcourt guys on left side, left corners, and then the center in the middle. And then you have your best guy on ball for your lockdown defender, and then the two hashes. Now it's or 3-2, where it's like you have your center and then your wings, and then you have the two best defenders on the arc. Like high school AAU organized basketball, where it was growing up. Like now it's positionless basketball, where Draymond Green was kind of saying people are just running everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's no maybe there are in practice where we don't see behind the cameras where they run plays and stuff like that. But I feel like coaches, I always wonder the modern day coach, like a Steve Kerr, or Ty Lue, what are they? I mean, obviously they're on the bench and watching the players, but what do they actually run sets football? They actually have
teams run sets all the time.
I just
it's a
people
pick
run
and
everywhere.
pop league. It's a create mismatch league. That's what positionless basketball is all about.
I just don't I like the Evan Mobley's, the Brook Lopez's, the big shooters. It makes it fun for the league, but then again, there's no there's maybe one or maybe a couple traditional bigs left, like Gobert, and I'm talking about people who can't really shoot the ball like that. They were more interior. Cat has kind of made him he's more of an interior big, but now he's a shooter.
Cat is
Like,
a perimeter guy.
no, yeah, Cat is definitely. But back in the day, he couldn't really find the shot, and I know he was in the 3-point contest a couple years ago. But he's more like that. That's why they said when they got Cat and Gobert together, it wouldn't work because you have one tier guy that can't shoot and one that can. But I mean, for what he's done with the New York Knicks so far, he's been going off. But like, I just miss that whole like that old school like point guard playing point guard, shooting guard playing shooting guard, center playing center. Like, there's no really like everyone's playing at a position. Sometimes I feel like like my boy Matt said like in the chat, like everyone's like if you're not a good 3-point shooter, why are you shooting the ball? Like play your spot. You know what I'm saying? Or like do you get what I'm saying a little bit? Like I mean the new basketball is fun to watch, kind of like it's kind of like boring because like you see people that should be on the arc shooting threes when they shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Or
That's
like
what happens when,
or like or Jared Allen. He's another center that is a good interior big. That's doesn't really.
Yeah, because he can't shoot. So why would he go on the perimeter? There are guys who can shoot. It's just I get it. Yeah, traditional big, sure. But what exactly would you call a traditional big? Like, would you say Olajuwon was a traditional big?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really. I mean, I can look into his highlights. I wasn't old enough to watch him.
Olajuwon was literally a big guard playing center because he had great footwork. He took a lot of big. Like when Shaq says Olajuwon was one of the toughest guys in the covers because Olajuwon had moves. Olajuwon had quick feet. And Olajuwon could push you out to like the mid range where a lot of bigs didn't do that. It's the evolution of the game. Like, you can't be surprised that you had this influx of international players coming in and are surprised that the skill level's kind of gone up amongst big men. There's a reason why, a lot of people say AAU is a major problem. Because all AAU is like a bunch of all-star teams playing against each other. How much, skills are they working on? How many plays do they run when it's just a bunch of, these are the 5-6 greatest players that live amongst each other who play together, and they're out there beating weaker teams. Like, what are those kids learning in that point? That's also a problem. Like, a lot of guys won't play on their high school team because their high school team isn't good.
Yeah,
so
I was
now all we have is a bunch of players who can't handle losing.
That's what I was gonna. That's the point I was gonna say. Just like me had the same mind. I was gonna bring up like AAU. That's really for like your best players. Like I mean, I feel like teams actually like the talent in AAU. I'm not sure now. I haven't seen an AAU game in a while, but back in the day, like AAU used to be like the top players. You know what I'm saying? Like top high school recruits. Come together, but high school, like you have like the people who just started picking up basketball, or maybe like you have someone who's now playing the sport, like from football to like there's people who just
all AAU kids think is that so when I make it big, I'm supposed to be on a team with a bunch of star players, and then when they aren't star players, they run and they don't want to deal with the rebuilding process.
I guess the only exception would be did the Cooper Flag play high school, or did he play just straight AAU? Did he go to? I think he played a couple. I don't think he did. He
probably went to like some prep school or something.
Prep school, yeah. Because I'm gonna say like the only exception would be Cooper Flag because he's played with he's. But I don't think he played high school though. Maybe like prep school though, like you said. Mount. I think he played at what's that high school that everyone? I think Zion went to Mount something. No. I forgot. But I feel like. I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. I mean, how do you think about the current state of basketball, like the whole NBA? How do you feel about that?
I just think too many people. I think too many people are crying about the wrong stuff. Like, because like Jory said, the art of development is lost. Because so I played like little basketball at high school or something. Was I a star player? No. But did I get mad about that? No. It was like I wanted to be better. I feel like that's the problem. We have a bunch of guys who, because they play AAU and they're being coached by somebody who's not like really a coach, but just there for just being, the dominant team. It's like, what are they really teaching them? Like, you watch guys over in Europe and they're playing, like, they're running actual skill drills and all that.
Right.
Here, they don't run that as much. That's part of the issue. And until, I think the best thing the NBA could have is like an NFL system. Like, young guys go off, play college like 2-3 years, actually learn something from college. They don't get that. So a lot of these schools are bringing in guys who are going to be one and done. They know they can't teach them a lot. They just teach them like bare minimum stuff, and then they move on, and it's just cycling through that way.
Right.
That makes it tougher on college coaches to necessarily develop guys. Then those guys get to the NBA. Luckily, the G League is expanding to the point where guys can actually develop in a G League system that's affiliated. Like, the Celtics have the main Celtics. So the main Celtics basically run their stuff like the regular Celtics do and everything like that. So they're kind of learning the Celtics system while in the G League. But remember, there's a long time when there was no G League at all. So a lot of these players are just going up to teams and getting lost. That's what kind of hurt the game, and we're kind of feeling that now. Hopefully now with the G League, you can kind of get back to a situation where young guys, when they actually play in the NBA, are actually ready to play in the NBA. Once they fix that, I feel like then the skill and all that on the court will be better. Because like I said, take your team as an example. The Bronny James stuff, how they kept yo-yoing him between both leagues, and then he would do well in the G League. They bring him up to the Lakers, and then he gets like 5-6 minutes and brick shots. And then people go, what are you doing? I agreed with it. Leave him in the G League. Give him like a good couple of months down there to just run, play like 30 minutes a night. He'd be much better off when you did bring him up. But shuffling him between the two, how's he developing in that sense?
Yeah. I see what you're saying about that. But yeah, I want to bring up the Karam's. Is he one of your followers? He might be.
I mean, I've seen Karam pop up before. So
yeah, definitely, man. If you're on college, like make sure you subscribe to my show too, my brother. That'd be greatly appreciated, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. But Karam, like your point, follow the Thunder style. Like Thunder have done it perfectly, man. They matched like young player with old players. Like they got, and I mean they have Chet. I mean obviously he went down with that injury after he got drafted, but he's healthy now. You got SGA, say Jordan Alexander. Then they traded away Giddey. Then they got Caruso. So they have a veterans, a mixture of veterans and like some young players, and they're gelling. And then they got Hartenstein. You know what I'm saying? So like they I think they're set for the future, man. And they have like other future draft picks as well. They're set for.
But what works in the Thunder favor is expectations weren't crazy.
They weren't.
So they were allowed to draft all these young guys and let them grow together. Some of these other cities and some of these other front offices don't have the patience to do what the Thunder did. I mean, look, it was 2-3 years ago. Yeah. They tried splitting up Tatum and Brown. The media did. Why? Because they didn't win right away, and they're in Boston, a major market. But what did Brad Stevens and them do? Kept them together, and look what happened last year. So, Kerm, I completely agree. I think the Thunder did it perfectly. Problem is, a lot of front offices do not have the patience to do what the Thunder did. That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think a team they're like, I think Wizards are like they're like 9-33. I just don't like, and it's hard to, and I know the draft players can't really choose where they want to go, because they're drafted at that team that at the lottery. But like what, like other than getting that star player in the draft or whatever, like those teams are like bottom of the barrel. Like what player fantasy wise will want to go to Detroit, or like these small market teams have to I don't know what they have to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure
they have to be patient. That's what they have to do. And
I mean, how long
And
can
the
they be
media
patient,
has
though?
to stop this, pluck guy from small market, put them in the big market. I get so tired of that too, because they did it with, remember, a couple of years ago, was got to get Giannis out of Milwaukee, get him to Miami or something. Why? Like, leave Giannis in Milwaukee. But then the front office has to make sure they replenish the pieces around Giannis to keep them contending. Because, yes, a lot of these guys who go to small markets don't want to sit there for 10, 15 years wondering if they'll ever be competing. But like Kerm said, the Thunder, it was easy. Like, you got SGA there, and then you started picking the right guys. They started gradually winning more and more and more. So now the guys in Oklahoma City, they are now contenders. So now it's going to be, once they reach this level, they're going to have to stay at that level. Otherwise, it might turn into, well, this guy might want to leave and all this kind of stuff. And also with a lot of young talent, you have to start paying them all at a certain
At a
point as
certain
well.
point, yeah.
But then that's when you run into some issues. But it's, it is what it is. Like, I agree the Thunder are doing it right, but
I mean, in Cleveland as well too. I mean, look at like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. I mean, he's like a stretch power forward. He's a shooting power forward. And you got Jared Allen. Then you got other young pieces that complement them. Like that game where I think it was the first game they had Cleveland Cavaliers. That game was a high scoring game, like 126 to 135 or something like that. It was great back and forth game. That's a game that I want to see. Like both good organizations that are well built, well put together, and I think they played again. I think a week after that. But that's a good organization to do, like Cleveland. I mean, they got a good front court, a good back court, and some complementary pieces to support that team. Like Max Strus. I think he's on this Cleveland, right? Because he was on.
Max Strus is just a guy.
I'm just saying, like they got other pieces to
Cleveland is Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen will take that team as far as they're gonna go. And DeAndre Hunter was a good pickup for them.
Yeah. I mean, any other topics we can touch on in the NBA that you?
I mean, well, I guess asking you, because since we are at the All-Star break, usually you get like the sprint out of the All-Star break, getting into the playoffs. Who would you say are actual contenders?
I got to look at the stands real quick. I know. One second.
Yeah. Okay. So Jory says she hates small ball. Depending on personnel, yeah.
Wait, and plus I'm confused about like tonight as far as All-Star game too. I'm looking at I was going to go to the standings, but so I get like they have like the All-Star, then they have like the Rising Star. Like, is it like a tournament, and then they get like to how's that? What's that
teams
format?
of 8. So Team Kenny is playing Team Barkley. Team Shaq's playing Team Candace.
Gotcha. And then the big game.
The winner of those 2 games will face off in a final game
against like the. Gotcha. And who? So basically, if Kenny team win it, and then Candace teams win, then that means Kenny and Candace play, and then they play, I guess, LeBron's team, I guess, or whoever's the All Stars.
No, those are all the All Stars. The Kenny, Charles, and Shaq drafted from the All Star roster. So I mean, the way it turned out was Barkley has like international guys. Like, his team is SGA, Cat, Wemby, and those guys. Shaq took like OGs, as he called them. So he has LeBron, Durant, Curry. Although he has Tatum and Brown as well, but he's the OG team. Kenny's team's like interesting because he has Garland, He has Mobley. I think he has Cade Cunningham and guys like that. So, and then Candace has the winning Rising Stars team from last night. She's going to coach that team today. But once again, it's just them trying to make it fun. So, like, the games go to 40. So we have to sit here and suffer through like 2 hours of watching guys no play and end up with like 180 to like 210. Because Adam Silver realized nobody's going to sit through and watch that. I stopped watching All-Star games a couple of years ago. Tonight, I'll actually watch because I think this is interesting. Because even if you have a bad game, it's only up to 40 and then you move on to the next one. Like, fine, I'll take that. And I think Candace's team plays Shaq's team first. I think Candace having the Rising Stars team, I don't think you have to worry about them no playing it. I think they're going to come out with like energy. It's going to force Shaq's team to kind of match it. Otherwise, they'll get upset. And that's why I think you build off of that. Because obviously LeBron and them don't want to lose to a bunch of G League guys. Because once again, image-conscious LeBron will not want that to happen. But Candace's team's going to go out there and try to prove themselves.
I'm trying to see the rosters. Like I know you said who's on. I just want to see who.
Yeah, I have the rosters up. Like, hold on. Because, like I said, Barkley has the international flavor, except for. I think he has Trae Young now because Trae Young replaced Giannis, and Trae Young is American. But okay, 2025 All-Star.
You want to share it?
Yeah, I got Shaq's OGs. Yeah, hold on. I guess I can show it. No, sorry, this one.
Yeah, I think we should end off the show a little bit with some of those grids. We should do like one NBA, one NFL. Yeah, if they have them
with the windows you have, it's not going to show well.
Well, I mean, oh wait. It's
yeah, you gotta take out those little borders there.
There we go.
So Shaq's team, yeah, Brown, Curry, Harden, Durant, Kyrie replaced AD, LeBron, Tatum, and Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
So Shaq's the team's GM, whatever. Yeah, Kenny has the young stars. That's what it was. Yeah, Brunson, Cunningham, Ant, Garland.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I knew Anthony Edwards was an all-star. I'm like, where are they at?
Yeah, Jaren Jackson, Mobley, and Jalen Williams. And then Chuck, SGA, Jokic, Mitchell, Sengun, Siakam. Yeah. Cat, Wemby, and Trae replace Giannis. Like I said, global stars, like, I'm pretty sure Donovan Mitchell's American and so is Trae, but Trae's a replacement. But everybody else, yeah, they're international. And then, yeah, Candace got the winning team from last night.
So, the rookies.
Yeah. Castle, Connect, Wells, George, Edie, Jackson Davis, Dunn, and Amen Thompson. So, like I said, Candace plays Shaq first. Well, no, I think it was Kenny plays Chuck first. Then Shaq plays Candace, and then the two winners face off against each other.
Like 10, right? 10 p.m. That's the final game. I mean, I maybe that's interesting. Like I like to see that. I thought it was just one game. I didn't know there were tournament wise. So
because that was no longer working. So they're trying this, hoping for like a schoolyard street ball type thing, and hopefully this works. Because if this doesn't work, I don't know what else they can really try.
And it's 5-on-5, or what's the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then whoever scores 40 points.
Yep. So I guess it'd be interesting to see between, I guess, Candace, Barkley, Kenny, and Shaq who can handle like substitutions and all that. Because you have 8 guys, so you're gonna have a 3-man bench. Like, will one of them forget they have somebody and not play them or something like that? Like, how are they going to play it
What
out?
team is
That's going to be
Tatum
interesting.
on? What team is
Hmm?
Tatum on? Is Tatum get?
Tatum's with Shaq.
He's on LeBron's team.
Yep.
Gosh, James Harden. Damn, I didn't know he made it. I know. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm Team Candace's team and this is the team I'm going up against, I'm like, let's show these old guys something.
And who was
Outside of
80s?
Taylor Brown, but
And who was 80s replacement?
who?
Like 80s replacement?
Was Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrie.
Giannis's was Trae Young. I think those are the only two who needed to be replaced.
Got you. All right, yeah, I think we ready. Do you want to do like a NBA grid and then NFL one, and then let's end the show? Let's end it off with that, man. Let's end it off with the game.
Let me do that real quick.
It's gonna be interesting to see the All-Star.
I'm assuming the grid stuff will probably be All-Star base for the NBA. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I usually do one site over. Yeah, I usually do hoop grids. I think that one's usually better. Although I hate the ads that pop up on the side, but it is what it is.
All right, so we got
Lillard, teammate, Curry, teammate, Cat, teammate. Played in the 2010s, 25-plus point game regular season. Played less than 10 games in a season.
Oh, it's gonna be hard. Wait, so Damian Lillard 20 like wait, what?
You need like a Lillard teammate that played in the 2020s. Yeah.
2020, like well, what team was he on in 2020? Blazers?
You got some Blazers, you got some
McCollum. No, wait, that's easy.
Bro, these ads are so random.
So the second one would be like Damian's teammate, 25 plus points per game.
Yep. I mean, I agree with you. I think the toughest column is going to be this one, the 10 games or less.
So played in the 2020s, Cat.
Yeah, so you're looking at Knicks and T-Wolves.
Wait, 2020 means the 2000s? Like 2020,
No,
like year 2020?
2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Played in the 2020s for Damian Lillard.
I mean, I always like to think of somebody obscure.
Yeah, like McCollum is obvious.
I mean,
Curry.
I think Lillard played. I think Lillard played with like Mo Harkless in Portland. I think they crossed paths.
Yeah, they did.
I feel like that's a guy not a lot of people probably remember.
Oh, there's another big Afrik Amino. He was a center.
Yeah. And that's probably another guy a lot of people probably wouldn't know.
So it's just between those two. Man,
I'll do Amino. Yeah, 2%.
That's not bad at all.
I kind of want to see if Harkless did.
Because another one was
this one you can switch it.
Aldridge.
Yeah, Harkless was 1%.
Damn, it was okay. Okay, what about LaMarcus Aldridge? Was that in 2020 though? I don't think he might have retired.
Aldridge played in the 2020s. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I like that this one shows you the percentages of guys you guessed. So Amino is 2%. 2%, Aldridge 1.9, Harkless 1.1. Let's take the lowest one for now.
Can you say? I mean, well, I guess the obvious one for 25 points per game. Wouldn't it be like Anthony Edwards?
25 point. Oh, it's on here
For a cat.
Yeah,
That's
that would
obvious.
be the obvious one. Like, part of me wants to say, well, let's see. The only thing would be like, did Mike Conley ever average 25 points a game, like back when he was with the Grizzlies or something? Like before he became Cat's teammate. Because I know Conley wasn't a big scorer like that, but I feel like he probably had a year where he did. I mean, 67 possible players, so it's not a lot. I don't even see Ant like what the percentage is. Probably like really high. Oh, it's only 4%. Okay, apparently. I'm kind of surprised the percentage is that low. Let's see if Mike Conley did do it. He did. Okay.
And that's 3%. 3%.
Yeah. I think I have somebody for this with Steph. 81 possible players. I think he played less than 10 games in a season. I only know him because he went to BC, and I know he played out there. Kai Bowman. I guess he played more than 10 games. Okay. I'm kind of surprised by that.
What about David West, maybe?
Nah, he played way more than 10. Oh, maybe for here. David West might work here. Wait, did he play with Steph?
I don't know. Yeah, he did on that.
Yeah, he was on one of those squads. Yeah. David West is kind of an underrated guy.
1.1%, damn. Or 1.5. So what's the point of to get the lowest score for each player?
Yep. I think David Lee didn't play into the 2020s. Okay. Okay, see, random Curry teammate.
Baron Davis didn't play with Steph Curry, right?
Baron Davis didn't play into the 2020s either. Let me think. I don't know if he played with Steph. He did not. Okay, Muscala, there times then Croft. Oh, Muscala played for the Thunder. I don't know why I thought he played for the Warriors. We gotta think of like random bench guy. I like that one, Jory. What did he play? No, he didn't play in the 2020s. That was a good pull. Like after a while, you kind of just go with the obvious one, but I feel like. So let's see. He's played with, Draymond, obviously. Well, you got like Moody, Pajemski. But you got to kind of think of who are guys that people probably wouldn't name or probably couldn't spell. So that's like current teams. So I usually kind of stay away from them. I mean, Clay's moved on, but he's too big of a name.
Oh, maybe a player that for Curry played less than 10 games. James Wiseman. Because he was out a lot. He
probably
definitely had
does
less than
work.
10 games.
Yeah, because he had seasons where he barely played, so that probably does work. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You got to think of guys who like got injured early in the year and missed a lot of time.
I wonder.
I know Dame. I don't think Dame ever played with Greg Oden because that would have worked.
What about Chris Miller? What about Chris Middleton? Didn't he miss some time?
Mm-hmm.
And with Bucks, Chris Middleton.
Nope. I guess
Wow.
he always played at least 10. I don't think Dame played with like Jabari Parker.
Yeah, because the only team he played for is the Blazers and then the Bucks. So.
Yeah. Blazers. Didn't play with Scoot Henderson. He didn't play. I know Aldridge got hurt some year, but I don't think. Did Aldridge ever miss a season? He did. Okay. $25 per game. Giannis. CJ might work for that one because I don't know a lot of people would name CJ. Oh, 5%. Okay. I mean, as long as you like think of somebody before you answer the last one, change them.
Trevor, maybe like Trevor Ariza.
For which one?
Played in 2020.
Less than 10 games?
You can do like Carmelo for 25 points plus 2, like for Anthony.
Yeah. I'm sure people forget the Blazer year. Yeah. When did Ariza? Okay, Ariza was 2021. Okay. Curry 2010 2020 should not be this hard to think of somebody random. I can't use Bowman there because he played only in 2019. Because that would have been a good answer. Moody, Kuminga, Peyton the second. They got Draymond. Like, who are some guys who backed up like Draymond?
Sean Livingston.
Yeah, Kevon Looney.
Sean Livingston.
Nah, he retired in 2018. I thought about him too, but he didn't play in the 2020s. Let's see if there's disrespect on Kevon Looney. Yeah, only 2% know Kevon Looney. Oh, Kent Bazemore. I like that answer.
That's a good one.
Yes.
A 0.5. There are 75 guys.
Kent Bazemore is easy to forget. I'm not even mad about that. Yeah, that was a good pull there, Jory. Okay, so now you got Cat. Less than 10 games. So who did Cat play with that got injured and missed a lot of time? Let me think. If you look at Minnesota.
I would try. I mean, obviously, Kent Bazemore is another one. What about Gary Payton II?
I'd be shocked if that percentage is higher than Bazemore.
Well, yeah, but I mean, people kind of forget.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So what's the rarity score? Is that when it goes up? Is that good or?
That's just taking all of these and adding them. You just want that to be the lowest you can by the end. And I think this one will show you like who the rarest answers are, or at least it'll show you like the most popular.
Trying to see for Cat, like who played less than 10 games.
Yeah. So it's 52 possible players. Okay. I don't know why this name popped up in my head. No. Oh, he actually works here. Okay. I think they crossed paths. There we go. I knew that guy worked somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, less than 10 games. That's kind of a crazy category. I know Anthony Edwards didn't have any.
Oh, for Cat, Shabazz Napier.
For which one?
For played less than 10 games.
What happened to that guy? Nope.
Damn. Oh, 2019.
Well, I guess he didn't play less than 10 games in a season. Greg Monroe. Okay. No. Oh, crap. Oh. So we'll show you, yeah, the most popular.
Giannis. Okay.
Giannis
again.
Thanasis. That would have been a good one. Okay.
Oh, they put Jimmy Butler. That's not.
Yeah. Derrick Rose. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh. Rudy. Oh, see, I was reading this like average 25. Yeah, Rudy did have a 25. Yeah, 25 plus point game in a season. That's true. Yeah, I can see why these are the most popular ones. Did better than like 56%. Yeah, that's fine. So you said you want to do a football one?
Yeah, let's do a football one, and then we can wrap it up.
All right. Okay, let me do this while I find it. Football ones are. Let's go here. All right, we'll see how this goes. Football ones are usually trickier for me. A lot more players you got to think about.
What's the cat like? Is this player wise or like what is this?
This one is strictly player to player.
Oh man.
Although I think there's probably a website that does have ones with a stat category. I just can't think of the website right now. So this one is literally just picking a player that did all of this. Hold on, let me see if I can find another one. What is this? Okay, that just brought me back there. All right, I guess I could try this one. Oh, this window's wild. It's not really showing all that well. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let's see.
So you got Lions undrafted free agent. That's kind of wild.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you probably go back to the other one. Yeah, I don't think I could come up with any of that.
Undrafted free agent? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I need Mel Kiper for this one.
Mel Kiper is, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess I gotta go back to this one. Oh, hold up. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Damn.
All right. I don't even know where to start with this one.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I think Falcons. So Falcons, Bucks. Falcons, Cardinals, Falcons, Eagles. Okay. Um.
Oh, man. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, that sounds like NFL ones. Yeah, I usually have to get kind of lucky. Like NBA is easier. 12 players. It's not that hard. Like this is 53-man roster. You got old linemen moving all over the place. Like I usually think running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers first. Let's see, Roddy White, no. Julio Jones, no.
I'm trying to think, man.
Todd Gurley.
Oh, so for Falcons Eagles, the only one I can think of is Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, that does work. Marcus Mariota. Yeah.
What percent was it? 9%?
Yep. Oh, let's see if I make it bigger.
Oh, man.
Falcons Cardinals. I swear there's probably like a running back that this works for. Or maybe secondary. Jeff Okuda, Jesse Bates, Robert Alford. Is there a pass rusher? So bad at these. Okay, Niners Eagles. I know that one. That's Ricky Waters. Yeah. How he doesn't have a picture is wild.
Another one I can think of for Bucks and Eagles is Deshaun Jackson.
Who?
Deshaun Jackson for Bucks and Eagles.
That doesn't work.
Man.
It's the same line.
Oh my god. I tried.
Or done. No. LeGarrette Blount. Koski. Brad Johnson. Yeah. Brad Johnson. Okay. I figured that was going to be the most popular one. I feel like Niners Cardinals is an obvious one.
For Vikings Eagles, you can do Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. I love watching Randall Cunningham. And his daughter became an Olympic athlete. Of course she did. Okay, Vikings Cardinals. See Steph Diggs. See Vikings quarterbacks might be the easy way to go. Kirk Cousins. Dante Culpepper.
You can for Bucks and Falcons, you can do Julio Jones.
Why do I forget the Julio Jones Buck year? Picture's kind of wild. All right, Falcons Cardinals. For some reason I'm thinking Ray McLeod, but then I also think the Falcons just drafted him. I know McLeod came from somewhere. No, he didn't come from the Cardinals. I think I'm thinking of somebody else. I swear there's a running back that did that.
Obviously, for Bucks, Steve Young for Bucks 49ers.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, with the NFL, I usually just after a while just start going with the most obvious ones, and that
because he played 13 seasons with the 49ers, and he played like 2 for the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. He played in the creamsicle uniforms with the Bucks. I still like those uniforms. I know the Bucks hate them because like that's the uniform they went winless in, but I still think they look pretty cool. I can't think of anybody else to go against that. Now the Cardinals. Cardinals, Niners. Cardinals, Vikings. Why are no names really ringing a bell? So I'm thinking, okay, I know Aeneas Williams played for the Cardinals. I know he also played for the Rams. I feel like one of these three teams he played for as well. I don't think he played for the Falcons. For some reason, I think he played for the Niners, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to use a guess on him, though. Let's see, Aeneas Williams, Cardinals, Rams. I know he played in one of those spots. I just don't know which one.
You can do 4 Cards, Vikings.
Like I figure a secondary guy fits for probably all of these. Who'd you say Cardinals and what?
Robert Griff.
Who?
Robert Griff.
Who is that? Robert Griff. For which one?
Or Vikings Cardinals.
Robert Griff. Griffith?
Griff. You have Griffith.
Oh, there's two of them.
No, yeah, Griffith, the first one.
Yeah, Griffith, not Griffin. Duh. I vaguely remember him. I wouldn't have thought of him, but I vaguely remember him now that you said the name.
Yeah, that's 0.3%. Damn.
How do they not have a picture for Brad Johnson or Ricky Waters? Robert Griffith played in the 90s. Like, they showed a picture of him, too.
I know. The Niners and Cardinals are, and then Falcons and the Cardinals are screwing me, man.
Like here, I think there was a running back. I can't think of who it is. Oh, Cardinals Niners. Okay, so I just thought of Steve Breston, but now I'm trying to remember if he played for the Niners. He was a wide receiver for the Cardinals. That's why NFL ones are just so tough for me. Steve Breston. Why did that name pop up? Because I know he played for the Cardinals. Once again, I can't use a guess on him because I'm not sure. Running backs. Roger Craig. Frank Gore. Frank Gore was Niners, Bills. Niners, Bills. The Eagles. Jets. Colts. No, Frank Gore doesn't work. I can always think of players for one team, but this cross. Oh, here we go. Matt Bryant, Dwight Freeney. I might go with the kicker. I'm assuming most people don't know the kicker. Matt Bryant. Why can't I think of that one? That's a good one, Jory. Matt Bryant didn't do it. I thought Matt Bryant did. Yeah. I thought Matt Bryant did as well, Jory, but apparently not. I think Calais.
Oh, wow.
Why
did I think of Anquan?
That's the wide receiver I was thinking about.
Calais Campbell? Damn. Michael Vick. Oh
That,
my
yeah,
god.
Vic, I remembered. Yeah,
Adrian Peterson.
Mordecai.
Wow.
Yeah, Peterson. Okay, Brad. This one will tell you. Okay, Cardinals Falcons was the hardest one for people to get. I can see that. Okay, yeah, Songler. Oh, this one will show you everybody. Yeah, I mean 261. I don't think that's a bad score either.
Yeah.
Yeah, NFL. It's too much. Too many people.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think that will conclude today's show, man. It's good to be back in business, man, with my boy Kyle Edwards, man. Even though we go back and forth with different topics and debates, man, it's all
Mhm.
good, man. But yeah, do you have any last final thoughts before we head out, man?
I mean, not really. I guess if you want to check out my channel, Chop at the
Yeah,
Bit. I just did a video yesterday. Obviously, as a Celtics fan, looking at the contenders that will be standing in their way of a repeat. So you can check that video out. Had kind of broke it down between the East and the West, the teams I think are legit contenders. That's why I asked you that to see what you thought. Um, but yeah, enjoy the All Star game. Give the new format a chance. Don't be like Kevin Durant and dismiss it before you even play in it because whatever. That's about it. Enjoy the second half of the season.
yeah, man. It's been a great show. And yeah, like I'll definitely give that All-Star format a try and see how I like it. And yeah, good luck to both teams, Lakers and Celtic wise. As far as we're 30-19, I think. So going into the I think we're fifth in the West. So we have a couple good teams to play, and then we have a couple bad teams on our schedule coming up. But yeah, I'm excited for the second half of the season. We'll probably do another episode for football and talk about deep dive into the storylines as we get closer to the draft time. But yeah, we'll I'll be more consistent with the shows, y'all. So we'll be back for sure. But yeah, it was a good show, man. And take it easy, man.
Yeah. Appreciate all of you that tuned in.
All right, all right.